Hey, it's Luke in Signal Sounds, and my gear of the year this year is the Teenage Engineering OPXY. I find it more versatile than the OPZ. I'm really able to do ambient music as well as sort of more beat-driven music with it. I've always been a big fan personally of quite portable, sort of all-in-one boxes that I can do a lot with without having to kind of need external gear. I really liked the original OPZ quite a lot. I thought it was really good, but it had some shortcomings and I kind of got bored of the sounds eventually. So when I kind of saw that they were kind of doing like basically a big flagship version with new synth engines and a bunch of other features that I thought were really, really clever, I kind of knew that it was going to be something that I'd be pretty interested in. So just out the box, it was immediately more playable for me and I kind of got more ideas out of it. It's definitely a bit more versatile as well. I feel like I'm covering more genres than I could do with the previous one, so I'm capable of doing some really nice, interesting ambient compositions, as well as stuff that's quite a bit more beat-driven. And I'm also just a big fan of anything that's quite portable. Anything that I can kind of do a full track on and just take it out and about is always a big plus for me. So yeah, that's why it's my pick of the year.
Hello, I'm Ben, DivKid, and when Signal Sounds asked me what my kind of module of the year was, something that I've used lots of is the Soundforce Samples 2. And Samples 2 is a 4 HP 5-channel sample player that's really simple and easy to use. And not only does it do kind of one-shot drum playback, it does gated modes, looping modes, round robins. It's really a sweet spot of really powerful and flexible, while just being really small and incredibly simple once it's in your system. So where you've heard beats in my videos over this year, they've probably had samples in the Soundforce 2, as well as other bits of looping and round robin kind of sample chop playback. Check out the Samples 2 video over on my DivKid YouTube channel, and I'll see you next time. I'll continue to be stupid. Have a great new year. Bye!
Hi, my name's Mick. Signal Sounds asked me to talk briefly about my favourite piece of gear from this year, which for me is the Polybrute 12. I used to have the 6 voice, but as well as double the voice count, this one comes with an incredibly expressive key bed. So the sound can change based on how hard, not just how hard you strike the key, but how hard you press the key. As I press down on the keys and move into aftertouch range, I increase the volume of oscillator 2, and I also increase the detuning of oscillator 2, and this is like working as typical poly aftertouch does. In this other example, I've got a sequence going, and I'm hiding additional notes behind the polyphonic pressure. So the more I push the key down, the more of, again, a second oscillator comes through and plays additional notes. So you can kind of hide ghost melodies behind this incredible keybed. The Osmos has a much more expressive keybed. You've got like side-to-side wiggle and you've got further key travel to play with. But what makes the Polybrute different is that all of the parameters of the synth are there and touchable and tweakable right there on the synth itself, and it's the most intuitive interface for such a complex, big polyphonic synth out there. That's me. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, goodbye.
Hello, Tom here for Signal Sounds and also the Tom Churchill YouTube channel. I'm here to talk about my module of the year, and I've got a couple of very close runners-up for this one. There's the Chaos Devices Berlin, which is an oscillator that's compatible with their Leibniz binary subsystem and really opens up that quite impenetrable system in a much more accessible way. And more recently, there's the ALM MCO Mark II, which is a really incredible 6 HP digital oscillator with multiple voice engines. Really, really powerful, sounds amazing. But my module of the year has to be the Geranalog and Heinbach Collide 4, which I'm making a video about at the moment, which may even be up by the time you watch this. It is inspired by vintage lock-in amplifier test equipment in classic Heinbach style, but kind of updated for Eurorack format. It has lots of elements, it's very sort of patch programmable. It's got a high gain preamp, a variable bandwidth filter, a quadrature through zero sine wave VCO, and a set of ring modulators. And you can do all sorts of stuff with it, from kind of really hardcore pinged percussion to sort of complex stereo oscillator tones with through zero FM, through to kind of much more noisy, distorted kind of tones. Really useful for all kinds of music. It's got a really modular approach, if that makes sense. You can patch it in all sorts of ways. And yeah, I'm really enjoying experimenting with it. There's nothing else quite like it.
Hi everyone, I'm Molly. I work here at Signal Sounds on the distribution team, and I'm excited to share my gear of the year with you, and it is the Delia from Melbourne Instruments. I'm really glad that I got to spend 2024 learning this amazing synth. It has the kind of magical motorized knob functions that you can see happening here. Not only is it really pretty to look at, but it sounds really nice as well. I love the opportunity to customize almost everything I can in my life, and I really love that you can pop off these keycaps and replace them with alternate colors. So Melbourne offers black, clear, green, and red, which you typically get on your synth when it arrives. But the white is very crisp and a little bit Christmassy.
Hi, I'm Kyle from Signal Sounds, and my gear of the year is the Expert Sleepers Disting NT. We were working with Oz for a good 3 or 4 months testing this before it came to public launch, so we got to give loads of good feedback on functionality and UI, and I think he's done a really good job on making it the best disting he's ever come up with. It's my gear of the year because the functionality and flexibility is just unmatched by anything else in Eurorack. When you pair it with MIDI or the USB audio, there's virtually nothing you can't do. And he's adding updates all the time. So he's just added the spin effects algorithm, so you can run any spin effect that may exist on a FX8 or a Timisoara or a whatever, anything else that runs that, you can now run on the disting as well. So yeah, pretty cool bit of gear.
Hi, I'm Aleks, and my favourite bit of gear this year is the Future Sound Systems Crick analog matrix patchable synthesizer. Crick is just a really well thought out instrument. It's 3 oscillators, filter, 4 function generators. They all go up to audio rate. There's a single dedicated VCA as well as VCAs within other bits of the instrument. Sample and hold noise. Lots of well thought out integration for other gear. So I've got it patched up to this Echo Rec thing here at the minute. It's just tremendously great fun to use. And if you're an EMS fanboy, like I am, then it's a nice accessible way to have a matrix and like a proper pin matrix, rather than something with knobs or anything like that. It's just great fun to use, and it looks beautiful. Look at it. Look at the ends and all that. It's magic.
Ali here, aka the Unperson, and when Signal Sounds asked me what my favourite piece of gear of 2024 was, I immediately thought of the Algo from RYK Modular. Algo is a monophonic FM oscillator. It has 4 independent voices, as well as multiple algorithms and loads of parameters that we can modulate. A particular favourite of mine is the cross mod, which really makes things go pretty crazy. So yeah, if you're a fan of FM synthesis or you like crazy noise, then Algo is definitely worth checking out. But yeah, I hope you all have a lovely new year, and I'm sure we'll see you again soon. Take care.